But it's back in business. So my Milwaukee brushed impact, half-inch impact, decided it wanted to ooga its last dooga, and I figured I'd see if I can bring it back to life, see what's actually wrong with it. So I'm gonna rip it apart in today's video and see if we can figure out how to fix it. And instead of spending $300 on a brand new one or less, whatever it is, I just don't feel like spending any money because I don't have the extra money. So I'm going to start this, leave out all the boring stuff. So you're going to start by removing 4 screws that are located right here on the nose that holds the impact housing in place. Then you're going to take and remove all these other screws here. They are all Torx T20 screws. So I went ahead and already did that. So we separate the case. So once the case is separated, set it off to the side. First thing, because this is a brushed tool, we take a look at the brushes. And it's kind of hard to see, but right there, that brush is pretty deformed. I'm pretty sure that part's available on Amazon for about $10 or so. So I'm going to go ahead and order one. I'll put the link down in the description below. But first I'm going to show you how to take this apart without kind of throwing parts everywhere. And now with taking it apart and waiting for your new part is a good time to wipe everything down and clean it up. So first we're going to start by pulling up on your whole assembly here. I can't hold this. You're going to lift up on your motor assembly here. To get everything freed up, just kind of wiggle it out. So this will pull everything up. Make sure you pull the batteries out before you do this. Careful not to separate this housing if you don't want to mess around with putting that all back together. This slides all apart. This is all 2-piece. You can get in here and add grease to everything, which isn't necessarily a bad idea during this process. So now that we have that taken care of, let's separate this magnet so it's a little easier to work with. So here's your magnet. It's got notches that lock it into the housing. Now we're going to take and see if we can get this bearing around these brushes on the end. Let's see if we can turn it. Oh, look at that. Slid right out. But there you can definitely see that the brushes are quite a problem. Alright, so now that that's out, I want to inspect the rotor housing, the rotor a little bit. I'll probably take and clean up this just a little bit, make sure it's got a nice clean surface for the new brushes to see into. I'll take and go through, clean up all these bearings, lubricate them as good as I can. But now is definitely a good time to clean and lubricate absolutely everything. So we'll go ahead and finish removing this. Your little selector switch. Yes, so these connections are soldered to the switch. Well, actually just... So we know where each wire goes. Not only that, we have video reference, but here is our old part. Definitely, brushes have seen better days. And we will go ahead and remove the shrink wrap off of this. Don't lose that spring. But we'll remove this shrink wrap. And get this new one soldered to everything here. And resolder on your new brushes to your switch mechanism for your brushed Milwaukee impact driver. Now while I'm waiting for that to get here, I figured I'd clean everything up. I've got the impact housing all apart, got all the old grease cleaned out of it. Now I'm going to pack it all with new grease, but bearings are all nice and cleaned out. Everything looks pretty good. Haven't lost any pieces, knock on wood, yet. So I'm going to take now and I'm going to polish and smooth in this part of this shaft right here. It'll come to me in a second what it's exactly called. but I'm using some WD-40 to clean it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm using some gray Scotch-Brite pad. I'm gonna make sure I'm staying away from all the electrical connections. And I'm gonna give this a slow spin and try to polish this up. Pretty good so far. I'm going to go in the other direction again, and then cleaner spot on the pad. And it's much better than it was. It's definitely a nice, clean, smooth surface. You want to make sure there's no burrs on it. I'm going to go through and make sure all these little grooves are all cleaned out. Nothing's touching. But other than that, that's how you kind of get that ready to go. They sound okay. They're pretty tight. They already have grease in them actually, so I'm going to leave those alone. I'm going to get this thing ready to get put back together. A little rough, but what do you expect for a tool that's probably about almost 20 years old? Alright, got the new brush set from Amazon. As you can see, there's a lot more to those brushes and they're nice and straight versus the old one. So this is a pretty simple repair. Hopefully this fixes it. Let's get these wires tinned up so they're ready to be soldered onto that block, and we'll go from there. Alright, I got those all tinned up in a U shape. I'm going to get them all soldered onto that, and we'll be right back. One thing, do not forget your shrink wrap. Now that that's all soldered and wrapped, I'm going to test fit it into the handle just to make sure that these are bent and everything's going to fit in the right spots. Then I'm going to start on reassembly. It looks like everything fits in there good. Wires fit in their housing really nice. I had to just tweak it back a little bit, but other than that, everything seems like it's going to work out well. And it's fitting in the case good. The only thing I don't like is the diameter and the cheapness on these wires, so I may replace that if it does have a kind of an issue with power compared to what it used to be. Also, a little tip, this is high temp solder, so you're going to want to replace it with high temp solder. You're not going to want to use low temp stuff. Alright, so now before I do anything, it's time to reassemble the front housing with some new fresh grease in it. Now be careful, there is a little ball that goes inside here and in between here. It's a teeny tiny little ball. Trust me, I lost the thing. Luckily it was easy to find because it was in a stupid spot. So don't lose that. I'm going to take and start off by putting some grease on that and dropping it right on in there, so that way it hopefully sticks in there. This goes around that front part, so we're going to I'm going to grab some grease and I'm going to pack it right in to this bearing. These rings have grooves that this sits in. And the tapered part goes forward, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Now that that's like that, we're going to grab our front housing here. If I can push this in. There it is. Past that O-ring. Everything spins nice. We're going to continue on. We are going to pack this bearing with some fresh grease as well. Put a little extra in there. Now I'm going to grease up these gears here. You don't want to overdo it because then you're going to have your drill fighting a bunch of excess grease. So I'm going to put a little extra in here. Because I want this to be greased up pretty good, because I want it to last another, I don't even know how old this thing is. I know I've been using it for a very, very, very long time. I'm also going to take and I'm going to pack some grease in this front area here. Put some grease on the inside of this ring. I've seen other people just drop these things in diesel and just let them rip, but I don't recommend that. Because then you're clearing all the grease out of this front housing. And it's not going to work for 10, 20 years like mine has. Looks like there's a good amount of grease in there. We don't want to say, like I said, we don't want to do too much. Because I didn't pull a whole lot out of here. So now that that's in there, this gets dropped inside this housing here. Like so. And then this ring gets dropped into these grooves. Like so. So now I'm going to work everything around. Wipe all this stuff down after too. But now I'm going to take my rear housing here. My rear portion of the housing. And this just slides right into the back. Like so. And you're going to want to have these notches keyed to the side, because that's how it locks within the front case. Alright, so that is all assembled, is all clocked, greased. That can go there for a moment. Now, you see we have everything all cleaned up with this rotor assembly here. For some reason it's slipping my mind what this is exactly called. It's going to come to me. I'll put it on the screen here. But that's all cleaned up. I used a little piece of Scotch-Brite, gray Scotch-Brite pad, just to clean it up, make it a nice smooth surface, so that way when I seat these new brushes in, I have no problems. Look, you can see it's all cleaned up, wiped out. I made sure everything was nice and clean, so that way this assembly goes nice. Now that this is all together, the easier part is sliding that onto this. So I'm going to first install it into this brush assembly here, which is going to be a little more difficult, considering the new brushes stick way out. So I'm going to make sure I have no grease or anything on the end of this bearing actually. So it's nice and clean. I'm going to take and separate all these brushes and just get my finger in here, just like so. Push my thumb in here, try to get that bearing on the end of those brushes, and don't destroy them because they are just made out of carbide. But once you get it slid on, it should look a little something like that. Before this gets put everything into place, this actually has to get slid onto this, so it all goes in as one. So first I'm gonna glide this in, get it seated up to that bearing. This has a little dowel that it lines up on, so we get that there. Now we get all of our motor and electrical and everything worked into place. You want to get your notches all lined up, because that's what keeps everything clocked correctly. Everything should pretty much drop right into place, and it should lay nice and flat, nice and flush within the housing. There should be no movement in it. So now that that's all like that, I'd say before I finish assembly I was going to test it, but we're going to assemble it first. All right, it's all back together. Selector works. We got a full battery. Now I'm gonna run it as fast as I can for probably about a minute straight, just to burn these brushes in. Let's see how she goes. Back to life. It feels really smooth. And to end this off, we'll put a socket on this and we'll actually see if it tightens and loosens lug nuts. Alright, fresh after the rebuild. Let's see how she goes. Oh, nice. I'll have to get a new retainer ring for the front. But it's back in business. Watch it suck the rim right in. Nice. Well, that's on how to fix a brushed Milwaukee impact. I'm Dan the Man. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below if there's anything else that you'd like to try to get an idea on how to fix it. Maybe I can help you out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.